Welcome to Late Night Guitars. My name is Marty, and this is
Carson.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about a band called Green Day that has been a big part of our lives. I would say mostly because of our mother.
Our mother.
Well, our mother. You have a different word for her. What do you call her? It's something about offspring.
So it's the same thing on my phone, like her name is in contact, and so Spawn Point.
Spawn Point loves Green Day, and I mean loves, and her friends love Green Day, and it's a little crazy. I've been to, every time they come through Denver, we go, and I get a good lesson in how many times you can shout the F word in one concert, because Billy Joe does that a lot.
Yes.
But we do have a guitar that kind of reminds me of Green Day. This little guy hanging behind me is for sale, and I'm going to cry the day that it leaves because it's so awesome. I just love this guitar. It's a double cut special, Gibson Les Paul double cut special, and I think that, I'm not completely sure if this is consistent, but I always, whenever I see one like this with one pickup, it's a junior, and when it has two, it's a special, and I don't know if that's completely consistent, but it's sort of a way to tell or make a decent guess. But it's just unfinished and unbelievably cool. It's got P90s in it, which, my grandma loved P90s. She loved P90s. She would sit there and say stuff like, she'd make us the Italian spaghetti, and we'd be sitting there. She goes, Townsend used P90s and live at Leeds, and I'm telling you, ever since then, I have loved P90s. They're just amazing. They just sound really ratty and lovely. I love them so much. And, Billy Joe, I don't know, all of the guitars he's used a lot of guitars, but he seems to, consistently use some P90s. And if you're just a guitar player starting out, Green Day is a great band to try and learn some stuff, because it just, all of a sudden you sound like Green Day, which is good enough when you're first starting out, and it's good enough now when you're decent, and probably way better than me. But Steve Vai said Billy Joe was an amazing guitar player, and I think a lot of it is just when people have a cool attack. And just to have a, kind of an attitude about the way they play, it shows, even if you're just going, something like that or whatever. And he does a lot of that. He can, shred, but he doesn't do it very often.
Yeah.
But, just not the style of his band. Even when he so-called solos, a lot of it is just octave stuff, Stuff like that, But I do love the Green Day. I remember taking you when you were little. What was your first Green Day concert?
Whenever the 21st Century Breakdown tour was, and so God, like 2009, so I was probably like 8 years old, and something like, let's take our kid to Green Day. That was
and
soon.
Is that the first time that you heard, a second time that you heard, aside from your father, the F word said with authority?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember it was a thing, because your mom kept covering your ears, and it wasn't going to do any good with Billy Joe. But I hope that doesn't come across as like the only reason we like Green Day, but it is a good reason.
It's just a funny reason.
But if you haven't listened to them very closely, there's a lot of good songs that I think really never made it to the radio and stuff like that.
I like the song Peacemaker, which is from that album.
Good.
And so,
what's the one about? Something about the radio.
Revolution Radio?
No,
Static Age.
No. Static Age is a good song.
That one was pretty popular.
Stuff like that, but
Yeah.
they tend to play these songs that are, on their newest album, and that you just, oh, that's a great song, and then it sort of gets forgotten and doesn't make the cut the next time they come around, but
Yeah.
they do when they come around. But I would imagine, I mean, people like to, there's always people that don't like every band, but I think if they don't like Green Day, they think they're kind of like pop punk, and but it's just fun. You just gotta live a little. Things are crappy enough that you just gotta enjoy yourself. And if you go see Green Day within the first 5 minutes of the first song, he's got every side of the place screaming and going, hey, and it gets a little old if you've seen him 18 times, but if you haven't, it's a damn good time. And even if you have. So I would recommend, first of all, you go out and you get you something cool like this. Maybe this one. But definitely something like Grandma said with P90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you also need to go see Green Day if you haven't seen them live, because you're going to have a good time whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
All right. That's about it for Green Day. I suggest you go to Late Night Guitars and check out all of our cool stuff. Thanks for watching.